is ready to go. On the Fan, New York Sports Radio. Mike's on, Mike's on. He'll get you the sports any way that he can. It's Mike Francesa on the Fan. Sports Radio 66 and 101.9 FM WFAN.
From the studios at WFAN, this is Mike's on Francesa on the Fan on this Thursday, the 16th day of November. As we have some interesting stuff going on. We got some interesting people to talk to today. We had the event last night. I want to thank everyone first for everyone who came out, all the fans that came out, all the FM people who came out. The Tiller Center as a whole, who I thought did a really great job. I mean, it was a terrific experience. They did a great job. You know, you don't know how a building's going to operate on that kind of a day, and they were just terrific. I mean, I'd go back there in a second and do an event. They were wonderful people. From first one to the last one, they were really great. They did a great job. So we had the crowd was great last night. All my guests did a great job. The dog was obviously closed the show, as you guys figured he would, and he was very funny. He did a very good job. He was on his game last night. Very funny, and so it was a good show all the way around. Thank everybody for that. Thank all the folks. The promotions people did a good job. Steve Apria, the engineer, did a great job. The band, Bernie and Richie, and the band, I thought was terrific. They worked very hard. They were there practicing all day. You know, they did my theme. They did the Mike and the Mad Dog theme. They were in there practicing. You know, we had everything scripted for them all the way down the line. Every lead into every guest, because there was no commercials, every segue between the contest, everything we did. The contest was a lot of fun. The guy who picked fifth winds up winning $10,000, which was really good. I mean, the guy who picked last actually won the big money. Thank Ocean Financial and those folks for their sponsorship of the contest that we ran. So that was good. The food was good. You know, Mons even got the gobo that he had to pick up and got it there in time, although he was, 3 hours in traffic. And everyone made the point. I heard this a million times. People who go to Jersey, who live in Jersey, live in Westchester, they all say the same thing. How do you deal with New York, with Long Island traffic? It took us forever to get here. And you know what? I really come to the conclusion that is New York City to Long Island is the worst traffic pattern of all, because it's unbelievable every day. And everyone yesterday complained about how long it took to get out to Long Island. So I really think that pattern now is the one that just is a killer. And it is every day, as we know, as Julio and I know, going through it every day. A couple of things. One, I mentioned all the FM people who were in the audience last night, and there was a million of them there. Two of them that got there late and I didn't see, and we didn't get on got in. One was Eddie C, obviously, which I talked about anyway during the show. The other one was Sweeney, who I spoke to both of them this morning, said, sorry, I didn't realize they had snuck in because I hadn't seen the two of them. They got there a little late. And when you're when you're on the stage, the lights are so bright you can't see into the crowd, so you can't see everybody's faces. So it's very hard. So, but the ones I had on my list, those ones I didn't have them as coming in because they got in kind of late, Eddie and Sweeney, but they were both there, so I didn't mention them. So I felt bad about that, so I had to talk to them this morning, which I did about that. So, but from the standpoint of the whole thing, I thank all our guests, from Jay Wright to Terry Collins to Bill Simmons, who came all the way from California to do the show. Terry Collins came from Florida to do the show. Jay Wright drove up from Philadelphia to do the show. Dog, obviously, he didn't have to come so far, but he still came out to do the show, which is very nice. And everybody was part of the show. So we thank everybody for being part of the show. We got a couple more things to do here in the last couple of weeks. I feel like a president does after Election Day, where you're still here, but they're making plans around you. I finally got cartons into my office today. I got them to bring up cartons so that I can start to. Now I don't have any memorabilia on the wall. I have nothing on the wall. They always make fun of me here because I have nothing on the walls in my office. Zero. There's a picture of my kids in there and nothing else. There's nothing on the wall. There's no plaques, no, signs, no pictures, nothing. So that part will be easy. I have a lot of books in there, and I have stuff on my desk, so I have to start to pack it up so that I can make a fast getaway on the 15th of December, which is right around the corner. But I do feel now like, once you have a show in place, and preparations have to begin for that show, and they have, and internally, and you have new ownership taking over the station starting tomorrow. Intercom replacing CBS, that begins officially tomorrow. It's already been, we knew it was going to happen for a long time, but it becomes official tomorrow. So you got new people coming in from that standpoint, and management in a lot of different places. And you have everybody waiting for the new shows that are going to begin in January. So first we have, how many more months? What do we have, 20, 19? Have we broken 20 now?
18.
18 shows left to go. And we're going to do a 19th show, which will be the Sunday show. We have 18 daily shows left, and the last one will be November 15th. We have a couple of things that we're doing in public. We're going to do December 10th. We're going to do a Sunday morning show from 9 to 12 at Mulcahy's. We're going to do the football Sunday show that week. Nice enough for Malusis and the guys to step aside and let us do a show one more time. So we're going to do the Sunday show from Mulcahy's. We'll give you all the details, and there's going to be a lot of details about that show. It's going to be 9 to 12, but there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. I'll tell you about it as we get closer. We're just now that we've passed last night, we can get into the details of this show. We're starting to work on it. I talked to the proprietor this morning, John Murray, and we begin our work on that show, which will begin soon for that December 12th show, December 10th show in the morning. So that'll be Sunday, December 10th. And then the 14th on a Thursday, we will do the show from the Museum of Broadcasting, but seating there is extremely limited. So those seats, the only way to get them will be to get a couple that we'll give away on the fan, because I don't even think it holds 200 people. I think it's less than 200 people for the Museum of Broadcasting, where we're doing our show on the 14th. That'll be our last public show. Then the next day will be our last show here, which will be the show I've talked about with no callers, nobody here, except my guys in the studio, no one else here. I don't want anybody in the studio, and no one else here, and just me and the callers and the audience, and that's it. No guests. The guests will all be the day before. No guests the last day. No media last day. Nobody here. Nothing. And that will be the 15th, and that will be the final show. So we're coming up on that very quickly. As we said, we're steaming towards Thanksgiving. We have the Hungathon next Tuesday. Obviously, we're a week away from all the stuff that's, all the excitement of Thanksgiving's a week away. And the Christmas holidays are right around the corner. And obviously, December 15th is now going to rocket upon us, as I knew it would once I got past last night, which I had been planning. We've been planning that show for 6 months. Once we got past last night, I knew that it would go very, very quickly, and now it will go very, very quickly to a finish. So that's where we're headed. We got a lot to do, though, and a lot of people still to talk to in the last 18 shows. We're going to put a lot of people up who have been part of the show. We have a couple of those today. Jim Calhoun will join us. He's back, active again. So we'll get to that, too, with the legendary coach. He will join us in the 3 o'clock hour. Al Michaels will join us at 5 o'clock. So we'll chat with him, too. A lot going on in the NFL. There's two big stories right now. Number one is the Yankees. I don't take the Giancarlo Stanton stuff seriously, so I'm not even going to spend a lot of time on that, because I just don't see a match there. I see a lot of reasons why it doesn't make a lot of sense. So I'm not going to take that seriously right now. As far as the statements by Hal, which were very telling and let you know that even if Joe had won the World Series, that he was going to be replaced as manager, that they had decided. And the question now is, and one that Hal can answer, or Cash can answer, and maybe Joe can answer, or maybe a player can answer. We knew there was some rough going with players. I knew there was rough going with players in the days of Derek and Jorge. And I know there was some rough going with players last year. I know of at least 3 instances. But is that the reason why? Did he feel that Joe couldn't get along with the new wave of stars? Did he feel like he needed someone else to deal with his new wave of stars? That's really what this was about. I think it's about those relationships, because it's not like Joe Girardi was doing something, off the field anyone was unhappy with. That's not happening, okay? I mean, you couldn't find a guy who was more of a, clean living family guy. So that's not happening. He's not a guy who's going to be in anybody's face. as far as that kind of stuff. He's not a demanding kind of guy. So it was really, I think, about player relationships and whether they thought he was the guy to have the relationships needed with the new wave of stars. And some of them who obviously did not love the way he went about his business, whether he was too rigid or whether he was too tough or whatever the situation. And so the Yankees were making a change no matter what, which is a pretty strong statement from Hal about that. But, hey, we're now past that. He's gone. The question now is who the Yankee manager will be and where they're going to make this team from a good team to a special team. That's what they're trying to do right now. And the first thing they have to do, they made a very big move when they brought Larry Rothschild back, which was a move they had to make. And now we'll see who they wind up with the manager. But you did hear hypothetical answered. If Joe had won the World Series, would he have been back? The answer, a resounding no, he would not have been back after this.